I love bike racks, and we have something special from One Up USA. It's their entry into the upright rack game. It's the Recon 5 for $1,200. They also have a Recon 6 bikes for $1,400, and I've been using this for a couple months now, and I would like to share my experience with you. But first of all, why would you get an upright rack? The main reason is you can carry a lot of bikes. A tray rack for high-end bikes, usually you can do 4 bikes, but then the rack sticks out pretty far, especially with your bars up to here, and it becomes a little bit more unsafe. You can't do 5 or 6, and the heavier bikes have to be more near the car. The leverage increases as you get farther from the car. On an upright rack, all the bikes are the same distance from the vehicle. So you could just keep it on your vehicle. It's perfect for an SUV. This thing is built. This plate, I don't know, it's 3 millimeters. Very thick metals all around. The finest machining, and it's made in the USA. So they worked in collaboration with a company called Recon, I believe, acquired their technology and tooling, and they made their own improvements to make this a one-up level. So this thing is a work of art. So here it is, and what I'm going to show you too is a lot of footage. I mounted a camera right here on my tailgate to view the bikes and the rack just as you are going through a lot of speed bumps. In speed bumps, I was going through them pretty hard, sideways and whatnot. You're like, why do you need that? It's because it's one way to simulate and control, the roughness of a road. Every driveway is pretty rough. When you get closer to the trailhead, usually it's pretty rough. Even freeway dividers are crazy, especially at speed. So you want to minimize your wobble. I want to show you guys how much play there is in this system. I've learned a lot about it. Initially, I was just putting them on and just driving away, and I said, man, that's moving a lot. And that's because the instructions weren't really clear on how to use these straps and the way to use these straps. So they give you these straps. I thought, oh, it's just a safety, so this thing doesn't lift. Not only prevents the tire from bike from going this way, it puts the whole bike down. And how it does that is it pulls the pedal off your bike and makes sure there's no chance of the bike lifting up and dislodging from the basket up there. So once I did that, you can cinch it down. You can also crank on your pedal because there's a one-way ratchet, obviously, to tighten it, and that works as well. Then you can have it as tight as you want, make it one with the rack. So here it is. I said, oh man, what a pain, I gotta loop it and whatnot. But then you just leave it as a loop. And what you do is you put your pedal in the lowest position, you put your loop here, and then you feed the system through there, and that's why these metal guides were designed this way. You can apply pressure like this to hold the bike down, tire down, with this one-way strap. So there you go, as rigid as can be. There is no chance for it to jump up if you go flying through a freeway divider. Oh, here's what I'm talking about. You could crank on your pedal to give you that extra tightness if you want. And releasing it is pretty easy. I put different bikes on it. So what they said is you have a limit of 45 pounds per bike. You can have up to 225 pounds total on the system. So I've tested it with 5 bikes. So obviously 45 pounds, the e-bike's not quite there unless you have a light e-bike, a 22-pound Santa Cruz Blur, and a 41-pound Aventon. So different wheelbases, but you could see how the rack accommodates all of them. So how to take these bikes off, it's a little bit more involved. So there's 2 ways to do it. One is you just lift them. So maybe I'll just do the lift method for the first one and then do the tilt method on the next. So right there, you just kind of have to be kind of tall, hold the bike at a right angle or at the right position so you have some reach, and you are off. And okay, we are down to the last bike, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna demonstrate the tilting mechanism of this bike. So yeah, it has a nice handle here. You unweight it, lift it, and then get some leverage, hold the handle, and let it down gently. And what this does is it lowers the whole tray for you, so you can roll the bike in, or less lifting. So pretty cool, right? It's catch-22 though, because it's easier to load, but then you need a little bit of help to push the whole rack back upright when it's fully loaded. Also, when you're dropping it, and let's say it has 200 pounds of weight, you know, that's significant. So you need a couple of friends to just be assisting you as you unseat that pin. So here we go. So the tire is almost touching. I use my knee, and right there, really convenient. Mounting a bike, you go from left to right on these bikes. So right there, feed it like that, and then just cinch the strap. So there you go. And then mount all your bikes. Just push it. You know, you push it anywhere until it locks. So there you go. Let me take it out so you can see the rack. I take out the bike. So the strap is cool. Once you've done it once or twice, you don't have to. You work on the loop basically, and you just keep it looped. So to take it off, you could also take it off while it is on the rack. You know, you just can't be holding the fork, or it's a little high. Depends on your vehicle. So right there, this thing is light. SC Blur. That's all it is. It's just a huge pivot, and then when you need to unlatch it, you know, that's kind of the heart of the system. You know, it's just a solid pivot, and then the 2-inch hitch, huge bolts, 2-inch hitch, and it has a anti-wobble mechanism right there. So let's go for a test drive. Right here is your driveway. I try to go a little fast. That is your first stress test of your rack. Good to keep an eye on it, see how much movement your bikes have when you do that bump going in and out of driveway. Right here we go in to a parking lot, a school parking lot. I'm gonna try to do everything a little fast here on the driving. And a speed bump, this thing has like 10 speed bumps, and they're very sharp, and I'm not gonna slow down too much. And the first pass, I'm gonna hit them square on, and you can see these are big hits. You know, these are like getting a big divider, uneven road, potholes situation. And then right here, I'm gonna go sideways on the speed bumps. So this is gonna create tremendous side load as I hit it, the bumps with force. Now I'm gonna hit it turning right, and you can see the rack has a little bit of flex, which is expected, and the bikes are not moving in the rack. They are pretty much one with the rack, so you can have security. And this is one of the advantages of the one-up system, where you cinch it down. Right there, I take off from the parking lot. Some racks, they advise you to strap on the front brake lever to prevent the movement, but this one seems to be okay. All right, hope you enjoyed that rundown of the 1UP USA Recon 5 rack.